This episode is sponsored by JDAQA Software Testing, your scalable solution for manual, automated, security, and performance testing. Check us out at jdaqa.com. And with that, let's get on with the show.
This is The First Customer, hosted by Jay Agner.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the First Customer Podcast. My name is Jay Agner. Today, I'm lucky enough to be joined by Marco Benitez. He is the CEO and founder of Rook. What is Rook, Marco? Tell me, brother. How are you?
Doing well, Jay. Thanks so much for this time. Very excited to be here. And yeah, I'm very keen to explain or, to see my path and all the things that we are building.
What's the pitch on Rook? What's the elevator pitch on Rook? What is it?
Yeah, basically. And Rook, what we do, we enable any brand to use these wearable devices. So basically, insurance companies, digital health platforms, remote patient monitoring want to track the patients 24/7 hours. The best way to track these patients is through these wearable devices. So the problem is those companies have to integrate one by one. Let's say the Garmin, Polar, Garmin, Sunto, Huawei, Within, AidSleep, everything, right? So instead of integrate everything, they only have to integrate my API, and then they will have access to more than 300 wearables. We manage all the data. We standardize, normalize, harmonize the information so the clients can receive very clean and structured information.
Beautiful. So do you just have like wearables all over you at all times? Do you just like every wearable? I mean, it's a funny question, but also I guess kind of a serious question. Do you have to own all these devices and have you used most of the wearables are out there since you work with a bunch of them?
Yeah, sort of. First of all, since the beginning, I love wearables. I'm a really big geek of wearables. I have before the first wearable was with Polar, for example, and was just a step track. And I love them because it's very interesting, all the patterns that you can start building on top of that. So yes, I'm using it, all the wearables, because I love it, but at the same time, it's very useful because my team is doing all the magic behind, and I'm the perfect customer for them because I can give a lot of data, and then they can do, create different type of things with the information.
Love that. What is your, and I don't want to get you in trouble here, but what's your favorite wearable? What do you think provides the most value, right? Because I mean, I do the watch and I know people got the ring and all the stuff. Like what's something that has brought, excuse me, has brought value to your day-to-day life, as a wearable? What's the biggest one?
I will say it depends on your lifestyle. For example, for me, Ōura is really interesting if you want to go deep on your, sleep data, for example. And it's really interesting. Now that they've received also investment from Dexcom, I'm very keen to see what's going on, the next steps for them, because, Dexcom being this big pharma medical device company investing in Ōura. I'm very interested to see the next steps. So Ōura is one of them. Whoop is really interesting because I do a lot of workouts, so I can track myself 24/7 hours without taking out the wearable. So I love it. Apple Watch, I'm very big fan of the information, how they deliver the data. It's really interesting. It's my first time I can see this. It's like receiving information from a medical device.
Mm-hmm.
So it's impressive how you are receiving the data on the back end. So the only problem is a little bit big, but still it's really good. It's a
Mm-hmm.
very good watch at the same time, and it's an extension from your iPhone. It depends on your lifestyle, definitely. But I mean, Polar is great. Garmin is huge. The eight sleep, I have the eight sleep in my bed. You
Mm-hmm.
can control your temperature. It's not so accurate with the data that you receive from everything, but still it's really good. I love it for the temperature. My
Mm-hmm.
wife can have, half very hot. My side is very cold, very
Right.
cold. So it's really good. It
No, I
depends.
like that. And yeah, I mean, I think you kind of highlighted how I feel about wearables, which is like, to your point, the data may not be like scientific level accuracy, but it's good guardrails to kind of like keep you into good patterns and good health and good things like that. So I love that. Well, where did you grow up, man? I mean, I noticed a little bit of an accent. I don't think you're from Miami, but maybe you are. Where did you grow
Yeah.
up, and did that have any impact on you being an entrepreneur?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Definitely. Obviously, I'm not from here, from the US. I'm from Mexico. I love Mexico. So it's I born and raised in Mexico, and just living here the last 2.5 years in the US, in Miami specifically. Well, not Miami, near Miami. I live in Naples, which is like 1.5 hours from Miami. And in Mexico is really interesting. I think right now it's very hot. For example, this is my second startup. My first startup was in 2003. So we were very young on those days. We were in the college, and a startup was not even a word, at least in Mexico. Here in
Right.
the US was a completely different situation. Was the booming of the dot com and all these big startups companies. But things are moving, I think, in the right direction. Mexico is becoming even more hot for startups, ecosystems, for investors. And I think there is a lot of very good things happening over there. My journey from US, from Mexico, or from Mexico to the US, it's really interesting because for me was I want to build something really great. And my passion is like build something bigger than myself. And to prove that, one of my investors told me, okay, do you want to build something big? Come to the US. And for me, it was like a challenge. And I said, yes, okay. If you invest in me, I will move to the US with my whole family because I have
Wow.
my wife and my 2 kids. We sold everything that we have over there. We have a house. Of course, my parents are over there. My mother-in-law, I over there. All my family, my friends, everyone is over there. And start from the zero here in the US, working hard, but it's like a really interesting life. I love it. It's you have a lot of connections here. It's so big that you have huge opportunities. I love Mexico. Again, it's beautiful. And I know a lot of people that they are like told me like, why are you crazy? Why you are moving from Mexico right now? And for me, it's a huge potential in the US. It's a lot of things happening. And even with a new government and with everything, I think when you have chaos, you can find new opportunities.
Oh
So
yeah,
it's
I
really
agree.
love it.
I love
Mhm.
that. What I mean, obviously, as somebody who has had teams in Mexico and has teams in the Philippines and has teams other places myself. What about the US market makes it so much better or so much, more interesting? Or is there just not enough tech companies in Mexico? Is the pay different or like the rates and stuff that like what is it that makes America other than just, blanket like, oh yeah, there's a lot more companies here and there's opportunity. What like specifically about maybe the, economics of the United States or just the concentration of where those companies are in the United States. What about it is actually better or more not better, but more enticing from an entrepreneurship perspective?
Yeah, I mean, I love US, really. Believe me. It's like the market is so big. The foundations are already built here in the US. Now it's like we are trying to solve specific things. And because you are going to solve on specific things, you have again a huge market. Not sure if I
Mhm.
am explaining myself, but for example, in Latin America, generally speaking, we have infrastructure problems, right? In, I don't know, in buildings, in telecommunications, in healthcare. So everyone is working towards those specific problems.
Mm.
But when you have, like in the US, everything built, now you are going to the details. And
Right.
in the details, you can see a huge market. So I love that part that you can be very specific and it's perfect. For example, my solution, it's very specific for a specific market like insurance companies or remote patient monitoring on some wellness platforms. Here in the US, I can find a lot of, companies that are looking for my solution, well, my product. Instead, in Latin America, it's like I can't find this type of clients or
Mm.
because they are looking for different problems.
Right.
So for me, it makes a lot of sense to move to the US and find those clients that are looking for my specific solution.
That makes a lot
So
of sense.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's yeah, basically how can I answer your question?
That's a good one. That's a good answer. And it does make a lot of sense that the, the wealth and the luxury purchases, as you would maybe call them, like, some of these devices probably a little more prevalent in the United States than some other places, and the ingenuity around that and those companies that like use that data, like you said, the big insurance companies and stuff probably take advantage of that more in the United States. So I find that very interesting. What was the first business you started? You mentioned two startups. What was your first one?
Yeah, the first time we built an algorithm for hospitals. So that algorithm help you to create a hospital. So in we create a like huge program where you can put over there how many or which type of diseases you want to attack, in which part of Latin America, in which part of Mexico, and then the algorithm create like the infrastructure, how many doctors, how many beds, how which type of medical devices, the name of all the brands of medical devices, and then as an architect or as a project manager for this type of hospitals, they it's facilitate to create everything. So that's what we create before. Again, we were very young, we were in the college, and from one day to another, a big hospital franchise bought our technology.
Nice. Well, I love this story. What Where did the idea from Rook come from for you guys? I mean, and tell me how you got your first customer.
Yeah, in our case was at the very beginning we were focusing in a different business model. We were a fitness focused industry. We create a big platform for fitness clubs. So basically it was again in data, and then we show in real time the effort zone, calorie burn, different type of biomarkers in front of the end users and in front of your coach in the fitness club. So on those days, we create also a wearable. So we have a wearable before, a
Oh
heart
wow.
rate monitor wearable, and another one for the arm. So we are biomedical engineers. So we love technology. We love to build things, and we find a way to create these two wearables and to start selling this product like a SaaS platform for different fitness clubs. Sorry. Mainly, all of our clients were in Mexico City and in the south of the U.S. But when the pandemic hits, everything changed. In Mexico, at least, we saw a huge, layoffs. A lot of fitness clubs close the doors. So it was a very tough moment, I think, for everyone. So we start to innovate, and we started to ask to the end users which type of wearables they want to use, because we saw that not all of them want to use only our wearable. Some of them were using the heart rate monitor, but also the Apple Watch. And you started to hear more about Whoop. So we found a couple of, a lot of people using Whoop and different, Garmin and all of them. So we came with the idea to start to integrate the wearables on our own platform, and we saw the mess. We saw that the data came in a very different way to integrate all of them. It's very complicated. You need time, you need teams, you need a lot of things at the same time just to track and pull the data from the end users. So that's how everything started in our own platform. Then we were in an event in Los Angeles, and we had the opportunity to be with the CEO of one big insurance company. That was the game changer. That was the before and the after. That person in the dinner, he told me like, "A, we are trying to build a wellness platform, and we have already that wellness platform, but it's my team can't integrate the wearables data because we are not so big in terms of the developers, and everyone is focused more on the different type of
Hmm.
programs. I saw your solution and makes a lot of sense to integrate your capabilities in my own platform. Is there any way I can do it? And we said, like a very good entrepreneurs, yes, you can do it. We only have to build an API solution because we have already the wearables integrated. And he told us, okay, I will pay for that. And we were, okay, okay, that's interesting. And no kidding. Next Monday, we were talking with the lawyers from that company, making the contract, and they pay upfront to make this technology. And that's where we said, whoa, we have something here.
Yeah.
And then that idea, we submit the idea in Techstars in this accelerator program. And immediately we were accepted and was a no-brainer. And we were, okay, maybe we have something here. And during the program, we make this spin-off or we pivot everything. And I mean, probably was lucky. Maybe we found the lucky. I don't know, but that's how we started. And the first client was a payer, and with an insurance company.
Beautiful. Do you think you would have made that pivot without COVID?
No,
You guys would still
no,
be making gym software,
probably,
basically,
probably,
like
probably
fitness
yes.
center software.
Yeah, probably yes, or hardware maybe. So, I mean, COVID for us was a very huge opportunity, huge in different type of things. I always said every single time you feel you are in a chaos, it's a huge opportunity. You can build a lot of things. COVID for us was a game changer because two main things. Also, we are remote first company. Before everyone was in person. We have offices in Mexico, and but when you are a remote first company, you have the opportunity to build huge and great teams no matter where they are. And that's really big. Of course, you have to focus on the culture in a very different way. Yes, you will see other problems. Yes. But now you can, hire people from no matter from the
Mhm.
south of Latin America. You can hire people in Africa, in Spain, in UK, in Canada, in US. So we have all over the places people, and we love it. That's the first thing that, after COVID happened, and it was a huge opportunity. And second, of course, we make this pivot, which for us works a lot.
Love that. Yeah, and so who is your customer today compared to who was your first paying customer, the one that you guys did the API for originally? How has that changed over time, or is it the same type of company? Who is your company you're going after today versus your first customer?
I think we are in the same path. Really help us to receive this, you know this client was the best. I mean, in everything. They were very resilient. They were very that they were dealing with a startup that you have a lot of issues and some, glitches and problems, and they were very patient. But that's like a very you don't find very easy this type of clients, right?
Right,
So
right.
they were the best. But that being said, at the very beginning, also we started to look to the fitness industry because fitness industry for us was also our background in the previous business model. So we started to integrate at the very beginning in the fitness clubs. Some of them they have already, some apps, and it's easier just to integrate over there. Then we moved to the fitness apps, with the biggest one, and they started to use our technology at the very beginning for free because we were trying to identify exactly which type of, data and information they need, and then we started to charge some amount. Then also we move with the wellness programs that some of them are very incorporated with the insurance companies. So there is like a very interesting triangle between insurance companies, wellness platforms, and corporates. So everything it's integrated, and they are looking for the best. And they are looking for, change behaviors in the employees, making incentives if they do workouts, if they are less stressed, if they, have a better nutrition, better health at the end of the day. They
Mhm.
give the same corporates give some incentives like day offs, or the other half of the insurance policy, it's paid by the same insurance. So over there we found a very specific, ICP, which is really great. But also because of the type of, technology that we have, we are also working with remote patient monitoring, for example, work with big pharma. Even though that we are not targeting those clients, they are looking for this API integration because at the end they are looking for wearables. Wearables are becoming something more important every single time. FDA receive FDA clearance, in different wearables and biomarkers. So I don't want to go very deep over there, or if you want, we can go. But at the end of the day, the first customer was an insurance company. Then we move a little bit to understand the fitness industry. And we identified that health industry, healthcare industry, and fitness industry, there is an intersection, and the intersection is wellness. And wellness is it's powerful, it's prevention. Everything
Hmm.
around prevention, that's where we feel very comfortable today.
Love that. Yeah, I mean, I guess the next question, if you had to start it over tomorrow, same line of business, API for wellness and insurance, with the stuff you've learned, what would be step one for tomorrow? If you had to go out, start a new company, do this all over again, what's been the most important thing you've learned would be kind of the match to get you started for the next round?
Have the team. I mean, my co-founders is one of the best and the most important things that happened because, man, this is so difficult to build a startup. It's so difficult. And the best thing that you can bring to the table is to have a very good team.
Mm.
Doesn't matter that you have only one or two or three. At the end of the day, is you are going to get marriage with all of them, in the good and in the bads. So it's like it's very interesting and very important to have someone who can trust, because at the end of the day, you will have very bad moments. That's the first thing.
And
Then you
you're
will
spending
figure
more
out.
you're spending more time with them than your own family.
Oh
It,
yeah,
it's a lot of you got to have a good relationship with those people.
100%. I mean, I'm 8, 12 hours probably with them connected via call or in person in different events. I spend or invest a lot of time with them. So, I mean, it's quite important. Again, it is the best thing also.
I love that. Tell me about partnerships. We are huge fans of ecosystem led growth with especially like in an agency, a services agency, kind of getting in partnerships makes a lot of sense, right? Like you can offer things to existing customers of other people. How do you guys view partnerships? Do you have partnerships, and where do you kind of draw a line between partnerships and clients? Because you could probably consider some clients partners and vice versa, but who's a partner for you guys? What type of partnership stuff do you guys kind of invest in as a company?
Yeah, for us, network is everything. Let me start saying that. Network it's one of the best and most important things for us because again, the nature of our technology, we are an API in the backend and also in, I want to say it that way, in the front end with the people. We have to connect with people and do different type of things. So for us, partnerships are very important. At the very beginning, when I came to the US, I didn't have network, nothing, not even partners, nothing. I was alone with my family trying to build something from scratch. So my best partner in that moment was Techstars, was my other, in the same cohort. We were another 8 founders in the same cohort. They were my family. They were my everything. Also my advisors. We have in Techstars something called Mentor Madness. Mentor Madness was like a 100 calls in 1 2 weeks. I don't remember very well. And also the advisors became my family. So they helped me to open new doors. Only those guys helped me to raise my first 2 millions. So, I mean, that's the power of partnership. That's the power of create a network. That's the power of create meaningful relationships. So, yes, partners for me are everything. Now, the ones who are helping us to bring more, clients or partners or whatever are other companies that already have my technology. Because once we are integrated with them, they are not only receiving, the data and the API solution, they also receive people that are willing to make more big their own company and revenue and ROI or I sorry. So it's like they receive everything from our side. So I'm people driven.
Beautiful.
Uh,
Love that.
so yes.
I have one more question for you, non-business related, non wearables related, just about Marco. If you could do anything on earth and you knew you couldn't fail, what would it be? Come on, man. I know you got something good for me. I can tell.
Oh man, I mean, there's too many things. I mean, parenting is also something that I really love. I mean, it's difficult.
It is very difficult. I've gotten that answer a lot as like be the best parent I can be.
Yeah,
Anything
parenting, I think.
you wanted to do though that like that you would just, scale Mount Everest or jump out of a plane or like anything kind of that you would want to do that you're afraid to do today.
I mean, I I love to build business. I love to build. I'm a builder. So probably for me is do the next, company. I want to solve this company at some point. I want to be do another business and then another business and then another business. I love it. The sensation, the stress, all the heat that you feel all day, and in one day you have all the feelings. You are in
Right.
one moment you are very happy, then you are very sad, then you are again stressed, then you are on the top of the world, and then you crush everything. So for me, that will be one of the things that I would love to continue doing.
Beautiful. All right, man. You're awesome, Marco. If people want to find out more about you specifically, reach out and talk about something they heard today. How do they do that? And if they want to check out Rook, how do they do that?
Yeah, we are in all platforms. If you want to know a little bit more about Rook, it's tryrook.io. It's tryrook, TRYROOK.io. You will find us also in LinkedIn, also myself, Marco Benitez, in LinkedIn, in all the platforms. You will find me the same way. So please reach out. Very happy to hear from you and find ways where we can be useful.
Beautiful. Love it, man. All right. Well, you're awesome, man. We wish you the best of luck. Let's stay in touch and you have a good rest of your week. All right, Marco?
Likewise, take care and
Thank you.
thank you so much.
Hey, man. Thank you.